If your characters are looking flat, and you're struggling to make them look more alive, then let me teach you in 5 simple steps how to add more depth and make them look exponentially better. Before jumping straight into the character, you want to train the overlapping abilities on various levels. Let's start with the basics. We're going to draw simple forms, not 3D shapes, but 2D forms in a diagonal line coming towards the camera. Let's draw a simple circle. Now, below the circle, draw a bigger square, overlapping it partially, and make it come towards yourself, placing it a little below. Now repeat the process with a circle again, making it bigger and keep it relatively at the same distance from one another. Do this as much as you need to until you understand this concept. Another note, try keeping these shapes follow the same sort of imaginary line. Do your best here. At the end, you can delete the inside of the shapes on top of what's visible through it. Keep doing this in reverse, starting from the last to the first. After you practice these exercises and you understand it, congratulations, you can move on to level 2. In this exercise, we're going to do the same exact thing, except now we're going to use 3D shapes. The circles are now spheres and the squares are now cubes. Don't worry though, the spheres are the same, so you only need brain power to draw the cubes aligned with the spheres, which should be a little bit more challenging, so don't give up if you fail a few times. Just keep trying until you got it. And of course, keep striving to make the shapes aligned, and each new shape on top, it's bigger than the previous. After nailing this exercise, and if you want a little bit more challenge before going on to the next level, you can play with drawing a little bit of shadow between both shapes. Ready for the next level? For the third exercise, we're going to do the same exact as exercise 2. Let's draw the 2 rectangles of the body, the torso box and the pelvis box. And to make things easier in the future, let's draw through the shapes, like we're seeing with an X-ray vision. And by the way, if you're struggling with the body shapes, I recommend you checking my other video on how to draw the simple body in perspective. So all we need to do is the same as the exercise 2. We're going to attach the sphere in front of the torso box aligned with the top. Let's also add the cylinder that is attached to the shoulder sphere. And on the other side, all we need to do is mirror the side that we just done. We're gonna draw another sphere for the shoulder behind the box, and make sure to use the X-ray lines if you're struggling with this one. That's why we drew them. Now, draw the cylinder hanging on the shoulder sphere, just like we did in the one in front. And if you want to draw the other part of the arm, all you need to do is draw another cylinder tapering down attached to the first part. And now, all we need to do is delete, like we did in the previous exercises, what's behind the torso box. And we also delete everything else that is see-through. So everything that is seen through another part, check which part is in front and delete what's behind. And then you're gonna get some clean shapes like this. And there you go, you have a simple part of a mannequin drawn with overlapping. If you master this exercise, you got almost everything pretty much figured out. Now, if you want to add some form of anatomy, take a piece of reference and add the anatomy on top of the predefined mannequin. It is very important to have a good mannequin for the anatomy to look good. If the foundation is good, everything on top will look great. So, much of the anatomy muscles are going to overlap another anatomy muscle or body parts, and that is going to take us to the last exercise. This level is the icing on the cake, as they say. We're going to add some line weight to the muscle that overlap other muscles. Everywhere you know or see in a reference a little bit of shadow between the muscle, add a line there. But don't just add any kind of line, add a line with style. Always make the line going from small to big or big to small. Keep it variable but not random. And if you do this on a couple of muscle groups, your art will surely stand out. And as a bonus, you can think of a light source and add on the opposite part of the light source a thicker line, even if there is no overlapping, and just as a contour of the character or shape. And remember, make the line interesting. You don't want a line with the same thickness all the way. Now that is it for the exercises. Again, congratulations. Take your time on each one of them. Make sure you don't get yourself frustrated if you fail. And keep practicing it until you feel comfortable to level up. To finish the point I'm trying to make, I'll draw a character with some form of depth, overlapping and line weight. Here I'm drawing a character with a gun shooting and the other one resting after a shot. So I want the body parts to overlap, that's why I'm drawing the arm that's behind, coming in front, so that you can see that there is a part of the arm that's behind the body and the other one that's coming to the foreground. I'm trying my best to make an interesting pose, and then at the end I'm going to add some line weight to differentiate the different parts of the body and the guns. And that is it for the video. I hope you got value out of it, and if you did, please give it a like and consider subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next session.